What's up YouTube, Capital G here, checking out another impressive piece of Salamangreat support that just got revealed. This is going to be released in Dark Neostorm. This is Salamangreat Fennec, and it's a pretty good card. It's a level 3 Fire Cybers monster, as the entire archetype is Fire and Cybers. It's 1600 attack, 200 defense, and both the first and the second effects are both hard once per turns, and you can only use one effect between the two of those effects. That's just how Salamangreat monsters work. The first effect says if a Cybers monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effect, while this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. The second effect says if this card is sent to the graveyard as link material for the link summon of a link 2 or higher Cybers monster, you can add one Salamangreat normal spell from your deck to your hand. Alright, so obviously there are restrictions on both of the effects, but I think both of the effects are quite useful, and even beyond that, I think the makeup of Salamangreat Fennec is really good. I talk about it all the time in my Salamangreat duels. The magic number is 3, and that means that you want a lot of level 3s in the deck, because level 3s go into the Salamangreat Mirage Stallion. That's the MX Saber Invoker XC monster. You guys, if you've ever seen my duels, you know I go into that XC basically every single duel, and you want to be able to go into that card early and often. So this card being a level 3 obviously is very important. When you look at the first effect, this effect is super useful, and I think that it's going to shock a lot of people. I think this is a card that's going to surprise people because, number one, to my knowledge, this is like the only Salamangreat monster that can be summoned during the damage step, which is super useful. Your opponent runs over maybe your Sunlight Wolf and you special summon this out of nowhere from your graveyard or from your hand. Your opponent won't be able to see that coming, so that seems really awesome. Also, even though it would be banished when it leaves the field while summoned this way, if you do use it for an XC summon, then just like Spinny, it will not be banished, so that's really useful. Then the second effect seems hella useful. The second effect is the effect where if you use it for a link summon of a link 2 or higher Cybers monster, you get to add a Salamangreat normal spell. Now keep in mind, it does not have to be a Salamangreat link monster itself. You can use it for something like Update Jammer or Transcode Talker. Those are staples in the Salaman deck, and more importantly, it means that you can add Fusion of Fire straight from your deck to your hand. Now this is something that is super important, and honestly I think that this is going to make going second a lot more explosive in Salamangreats. You guys have seen the duels where Salamangreats can easily pull off the OTKs with Violet Chimera, one-shotting your opponent. Well, the thing is, and a lot of times if you're trying to go for the one shot against your opponent, you do kind of have to go for Heat Leo, and a lot of times to get to your Fusion of Fire, you have to dump it into the graveyard with Gazelle, then you have to add it back to your hand with Sunlight Wolf, and that's all fine. That's generally what I do when I want to one-shot my opponent. But the thing is, if either one of those effects get disrupted, your OTK generally goes down the window unless you're playing Signet Fusion. This is a card that does it for one effect, and I think that that is super useful because now you can use those other effects, the Gazelle and the Sunlight Wolf, you can use them for other cards. You can use them for other play extensions, which is kind of nice. This card can also add the new Salamangreat Recurrence from your deck to your hand, which is also pretty good. Really, when I look at Salamangreat Fennec, I see a card that's pretty useful at all stages of the duel, and I like the makeup of this card. It being level 3 means you're getting more chances to go into, you know, your potential Mirage Stallion plays if you don't want to use it for link summoning, so that's good. If you do want to use it for link summoning, especially going second, being able to get Fusion of Fire instantly is amazing, and it means that you can just definitely go for the one-shot OTK with Violet Chimera. And I also think that a lot of times your opponent will not see this card coming if you're summoning it during the damage step during either player's turn. That is something that's really awesome, and it comes back from the graveyard, so that's pretty cool as well. Overall, Salamangreat Fennec is a really good and solid card. I think that it's a one-of because you don't even have to hard draw it. You could just special summon it from the deck with Mirage Stallion and then link summon it away and get its effect that way. I think that it's very comparable to Salamangreat Mirror or Raccoon. Like, these are all really good utility cards that you might want to run one copy of, just depending on your play style and which one you find to be more useful in your duel. So whatever you guys think of Fennec, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.